There are some people who are blessed by their situation in the NBA. My mind immediately goes to Tim Duncan, drafted by the San Antonio Spurs in the first round, to a team that has David Robinson. His second year, his sophomore year in the NBA, Tim Duncan is an NBA champion. I then think about Jason Tatum, right? Drafted top 5 pick in the 2018 NBA draft to a team that already has Jaylen Brown, a team that then goes and gets Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving. Obviously, the Gordon Hayward tragedy happens, but still, within his first 7 years in the NBA, Jason Tatum wins an NBA championship, and since a rookie was always contending for that top team, that championship position in the NBA. Then there's players who are not so lucky. And one of those players that we're going to talk about today is Damian Lillard, because in all of these conversations we have about Dame, the loyalty didn't pay off, the Milwaukee move was bad, should have gone to Miami, should have, could have, would have. When we look back at his career, Damian Lillard is one of, if not the most underrated player in NBA history. When Dame came onto the scene as a rookie, playing all 82 games of the NBA his first season, by the way, and the first 3 seasons, all 82 games, on averaging 37 minutes a night, Damian Lillard in his rookie year would give you 19 points, 43 from the field, 36 from 3, 7 assists per game. This is already a sniper. Then fast forward to 2015, 25 points per game, 7 assists per game with a steal per game, 37 from 3 on 8 attempts, 42% from the field. Not 82, but 75 games. Same thing in 2016, 75 games, 27 points per game, 44 from the field, 37 from 3, still on 8 attempts, 6 assists per game. Let's go to 2018, 73 games, still not 82, but extremely reliable, 27 points per game. Again, assists 6.6 now instead of 5.9. 43 from the field, 36% from 3 on 8 attempts. I mean, it's consistent, man. And when we look at a guy in Damian Lillard who was getting Stephen Curry comparisons, there was an argument whether or not he was better than Stephen Curry. And let me all remind you, 2016 Steph did not start for 30 games in the fourth quarter. He did not start for 30 fourth quarters in that 2016 season because of how dominant he was. And Damian Lillard was putting himself in those types of conversations, in those heights. When we look at the consistency of Damian Lillard, when we look at the 2019-20 season where he averaged 30 points per game and 8 assists on 46 from the field and 40 from 3 on 10 attempts per game, mind you. When we look at Dame that following season, giving you 29 with 7 assists, with 45 from the field, with 40 from 3, again, on 10 attempts from the field. We're seeing a guy who consistency is all he knows. From the Nuggets series to the Oklahoma City Thunder shot to the Houston Rockets shot, Damian Lillard is a guy who was a victim of being on a franchise who did not prioritize him. The Blazers became too comfortable and competent with having Dame be their star. They could have got guys like Durant. They could have made moves. They could have moved McCullough around and got Dame a big. I know Hassan Whiteside is good, but he's not that good. There's guys they could have went and got that really would have put the Blazers over the top. Melo at that stage in his career is too late. Get Dame a bench. Get him help. Get him another wing. Do things that allow Dame to still be Dame and also have off-ball movement, because the thing Damian Lillard didn't have the chance to play with that Stephen Curry did was a system that allowed Dame to be an off-ball movement sniper. Dame always had to be the facilitator and also have the ball in his hand. Again, 30 points on almost 10 assists. This is crazy stuff we're looking at, man. And then this Milwaukee Bucks tenure, right? Because people say that was a failure. People consider Milwaukee Dame one of the worst iterations of Damian Lillard. Well, he's not going to give you 82 games. He's going to give you 73 his first season there. 24.3 points, 42 from the field, 35 from 3 on 8 attempts, and also 7 assists. And then let's look at this past season. He's going to give you 25 with 7 assists, 37 from 3 on 9 attempts. This is consistency. His whole career is consistent. He is a guy that, yes, was told he's going to be looking like Stephen Curry out there if he has another star, but we have to keep in mind, Giannis and Dame, unfortunately, were not a duo. They were a pairing of 2 great players, but Giannis didn't have the facilitation to take advantage of the pick and roll. Dame did not have the system that allowed him to be as much of an off-ball mover like a Steph to draw 2 defenders that would leave Giannis open in the perimeter and the post. It didn't work out, but still, when we talk about Damian Lillard, people talk about a failure. People talk about a guy who didn't get a ring. What I think is this is one of the greatest players, number 1, to never get a ring, but number 2, one of the greatest players in this generation to still stand out as a premier guard in this league in an era that had Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. And then on the latter end, Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Tyrese Halliburton, an era that had those guards, De'Aaron Fox. An era that has all of those guards, and you're still considered one of the best in the league? Absolutely insane, man. And he's a first option after first option. I mean, when we talk about the best guards in the league, I know people say Steph, and then in this 2020s or 2010s era, I know people say, oh, well, Steph, CP, Russ, Harden. We got to be honest, man. That's a great list. But people put Kyrie at that 5 spot? Nope, it's Damian Lillard. And I wouldn't argue that Damian Lillard is not 5 out of all of those guys. We love Kyrie. We love what he's done for the game. We love what he's done as a human being. I'm a big Kyrie Irving fan. No disrespect if he sees this and when I say this, but Kyrie Irving did have a chance on the Boston Celtics to be the number 1 option. He did not succeed at that. Damian Lillard, for what it's worth, has put up great production in the playoffs. He's led his team to deep runs before. And look at who he's facing, bro. He's losing to the greatest team ever assembled. That should not be a knock on his career. The same way we don't hold LeBron in contempt for losing to the 2018 Warriors, we should not hold Damian Lillard in contempt from losing to that same Warriors squad. I mean, one of the most underrated ever, just a gentleman in the craftsmanship of the game, sniper, and still, the fact he was even in Stephen Curry conversations, absolutely insane. With that being said, though, guys, that is going to do it for us today. Again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow all of our socials in the bio for more Samajai, more Rois, more Joachim, more Daniel, and more Marcus. Weekly videos as well as daily posts on the TikTok and Instagram going forward. Look forward to season 2 of BoxInOne dropping when the NBA comes back in October. And again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next one.